You know, Hank, I think myself and a lot of people, when they think of Hank Thompson, they think of, immediately come to mind, The Wild Side of Life. What a song. How did it come about?
Well, that song was a popular tune for about a year before I recorded it. It was done by Jimmy Heap, the Melody Masters group down in Texas, out of Taylor, Texas. And they had it on a small label, and so it was heard there around Texas and Oklahoma and out on the West Coast some. And they also were the first one to introduce the original record of Release Me.
Oh, really?
And Kirk Williams was the singer on both the records. And it was on, like I said, a small label record, and the quality was very poor. Talking about the actual mechanical quality of the records. A lot of scratches to them, and balance was bad and everything like that. And I wasn't real impressed with the song because, you know, it was the same old melody that had been done before and a couple other tunes.
Yeah, it's an old PD melody.
And I was thinking the Night of My Blue Eyes and things. And so my wife, Dorothy, at that time said, you ought to record that song. I said, oh, I don't know, it's just the same. I don't think there's anything original about it. And I said, well, that line in there about the Honky Tonk Angels, it just kind of keeps hanging in there. It says, people like that. So I said, well, okay. So we'd do audition discs before we went out to the West Coast to record. So I went up there and I had some songs I'd written, and we made some audition discs on that one. So we did The Wild Side of Life. And so I went out to Ken Nelson. That was the first session that Ken directed me with Capitol. And so I was doing some of these songs, and I said, here's also a song that's been very popular, and it's Wild Side of Life. And he said, well, that's just that same old melody thing. I said, that's the way I feel. But I said, but the thing, you know, it is popular, so maybe we ought to cut it and give it a try. So we did it on one take.
Well, you were recording back in the days when they did it on acetate?
Oh, yeah.
And had to do it. I mean, there was no retakes.
Yeah, but you could do them over and over again, but you couldn't splice.
No editing, yeah.
Yeah, so, but we just counted it off. I did the song all the way through, and Ken said, were you happy with it? I said, I don't think I could do it any better. And that was it, one take. And so we put it out as the B-side of a record.
What was on the other side?
The other side was a song I'd written called Crying in the Deep Blue Sea.
Well,
and it took off and was a very popular song. And about, I guess, 3 months later, they started turning it over and playing the other side. And of course, that's on the jukeboxes they were playing both sides.
Okay, the jukebox was the ones turning.
They played both sides, you know, but on the radio station. So then but back then they played both sides of records, you know. So they started playing it, and I guess it was a full 4 months. That record had been out about 4 months before it finally hit number one.
What year?
It was the number one song of 1952.
Number one song of the year. Ain't that great?
Yeah, that's one of the things, the great songs that you're fortunate to come by, and that one just came out of deep center field, you might say.
Let's hear it one more time.
You wouldn't read my letter if I wrote you. You asked me not to call you on the phone, but there's something I'm wanting to tell you. So I wrote it in the words of the song. I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you, and went back to the wild side of life. The glamour of the gay nightlife has lured you to the places where the wine and liquor flow, where you wait to be anybody's baby and forget the truest love you'll ever know. I didn't know God made honky tonk angels. I might have known you'd never make a wife. You gave up the only one that ever loved you, and went back to the wild side of life. And went back to the wild side of life.
Yeah. That song also spawned another career of Miss Kitty Wells with an answer song, one of the first big answer songs in the country.